with legs.
But with
right.
Yeah, they're gonna be tired.
Yeah.
Right. And then also, if lower it helps because the stretching of the
Yeah, that- yeah.
flexors at the end was nice to
Awesome. Good job. And Mike. Awesome. So you can build very, very thought out classes on your own if you want to take a picture of that. That really have meaning, right? So you don't have to trust someone online, you don't have to copy someone online. You can have meaningful classes that, you know, you guys built. And the thing of it is, and if you train with me, you know, another one of my pet peeves, other than sliding your leg on the mat, is I hate when, hate's a pretty strong word, but I hate when my teachers use notes, right? So, what happens when teachers use notes is it kind of like ruins the credibility. And if the student sees them using the notes, they're kind of like, you need notes? Like, you don't know what you're doing? And they're like, it kind of makes the student question you a little bit. Like, why do you need notes? So when you build a class like this, you understood where it came from because you built it. So you tend to remember it more. And if this is too intense for you, do 5 and 5 if it's too many. You know what I mean? That might be easier for you to remember. It's just a little bit less. But you're going to remember it better. And you're going to need notes less and less. Or do 3, whatever you got to do to remember better. Or use the same rotating 5 classes if you need that for a while. Or, you know, the ones that you took pictures of that we talked about. But your credibility will be better if you don't use the notes. They're going to wonder why you can't remember. Why should I, you know, listen to you if you can't remember? You should be able to remember if you're telling me what to do. You know what I mean? So I don't care if you sneak it somewhere. I don't, you know, put it in your mind gym book, and you know, like, you know, whatever you did in high school to cheat on the test, like, do those things, but don't let them see you use the notes. It just lessens your credibility a little bit.
Actually, the more you do it, the more sentences just come. You're creating like a nerve connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I feel like even when we've written our classes for you, like this, as Monet knows, like, even if I've been like, well, that's not like what I even like wrote for the class, but
it works. And
it still works.
Yeah,
like,
still
even
like
if
a
you
guideline.
switch the sequence, it still has all the moves.
It has all the moves, and no one knew.
And no one
we do
knew.
that to each other all the time.
You
though.
do.
It's like, we fucked up. But it's like we never even
And as
noticed
long as you
because-
don't say it out loud, no one knows. No one knows you screwed up, you know? As long as you don't, you know, have them doing a backflip and
I
fall
remember.
down, like, no one knew.
Like,
Yeah.
at the time I had her in like down dog, and I was just like,
You know, you don't panic, and you learn more and more over time not to panic, and no one knows, and it's all fine, you know? If you had a specific goal in mind and it didn't work out, maybe next time it'll work out, but if you really had 5 or 6 poses you wanted to get done, I think you can remember 5 or 6 poses, unless something really, really bad is going on in your life. You probably can put it on your block, like put it on your neck, put it somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, but what I used to do when I first started teaching is I had written things that I wanted to read to them at the end of my mat. So it was a lot of pages that I wrote out, and I would just like put it in those pages, and I would walk around, I would kind of just like scoot up, but I would never like hold it or go up. I would just kind of walk, so they knew, and then at the end, those were the pages I held. So they knew those pages were there for me to read to them at the end, but I never made it obvious that, you know, that's what I was going to be doing. And it didn't say, chaturanga, down dog, up dog. You know, like, as you can see, down dog is always like DD, you know, and chaturanga now, even when I write things out, is DD, CH, arrow up, arrow down when I'm writing things. So there's, you know, even if they looked at it, they wouldn't even know what it was. It's like a shorthand that I've kind of, in my head. But, so let's just sort of wrap it up here. But how to conduct a class of athletes, your voice structure, as you can see, probably not like a lot of classes that you've taken. A little louder, a little more cuckoo, but they respond to that. You know, I will kick people out. I demand respect from them. They respond to a more militant approach, and I expect that from them. They don't want wishy-washy. They will walk all over you wishy-washy. If you're starting with a new team, you come in hard, and as time goes on, you can let up a little. First day, I always kick someone out inevitably, because they're always being a little bit annoying to me. And I set the tone right away, right away. One of the first round draft picks, Eric Flowers, New York Giants, jerk right off the bat. He's like this, not doing anything. I'm like, what's the matter? Nothing? You're not doing anything? No. I'm like, you can leave. What? I go, we're doing yoga. Can we talk about it? I go, no, we can't talk about it. I'm doing yoga right now. You're not doing yoga. You can leave. He's first round draft pick, millionaire. I don't care, frankly. I got a bunch of rookies that I got to deal with. I don't have time to deal with that. He's not doing anything. He's disrespecting me. I don't care. He leaves. He's in a huff. Every coach is like, what happened? You kicked Eric Flowers out. You did that. I'm like, I don't care. He wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing yoga. He was disrespecting me in front of everybody. Oh, you know, his mom died when he was 12. I go,
How old is he now?
thank you. I go, coach. And this wasn't Coach Coughlin, exactly. I said, coach. Coach Coughlin was on my side of this. I go, no disrespect, but he's 21 now, and he'll never get over that, but he could be the best role model in the world for every little boy who lost his mom at 12. Instead of being like that and acting disrespectful to me, he could be in charge, he could be a leader, and he could buck up and do what we're doing. Instead of being a jerk like that, no, I don't buy it. He should get over it. And by the way, I don't know if anybody watched the draft, but kid got drafted 3rd overall. Did you see that kid? For the Jets?
Yeah.
His mom died at 12.
Yep.
Everyone loves that kid. I'm getting goosebumps right now, from top to bottom.
Even
Did you
when
see
he got
that kid?
drafted, no, like in tears, like just.
His mom died at 12. There's an
Oh,
empty
right.
seat for her at the draft.
Oh.
Most respected. Everyone loves him. I mean, unbelievable kid. And I was like, oh, huh.
And he was a leader.
Two
like,
choices in
on the college
life.
team, like,
Everyone, yeah, led. You know, there's 2 choices you can make in life, and you gotta demand respect from them because they will walk all over.
Did he ever come around?
No, we hated each other from A to Z. And where is he now? He got cut. And usually I can tell from day one. I can look at their feet, and I can tell you if they're gonna make it by their feet and their attitude. I don't care if they're number 1. I can tell. Their feet are screwed up. They're never gonna make it, and if their attitude is screwed up.
Well, if your feet are screwed up, your
Yes,
alignment.
they have arches and they're all gnarly feet. No, but you have to take full command. You have to dress, you have to check. More for the ladies, you gotta make sure you're up to here, there's no distractions, and there's no reason for distraction, and you know, sometimes I'm in 16 layers of clothes, and you know, you're there to do business and you're there to make a difference. Make sure you can answer questions on the fly, that you're studied, that you're up on things, that you know your anatomy, and if you can't, let me get back to you on that. I don't know. It's okay to not know. We talked about that before. It's okay to not know. I'm gonna look that up. I don't know. I'm not sure. And they'll respect that more, like I said, than a wrong answer. Restorative practice for athletes in general and recovery from an injury, you know, see the long, deep holds. But for the most part, hips, recovery, regen, for the most part, you're not going to be doing these vinyasa, kick butt stuff. It's just not what they need. It's not what they're all about. It's fine, but it's not what we're going to be teaching them. There's a lot of Q&A in here from over the years when when you get the kit, you can read through these things. What people have asked me, we don't need to really go over this, but you can read this on your own time. Things to think on every sport. Again, one more time, repetitive motion. Look at videos, look at pictures. The poses to keep muscles, joints, ligaments, tendons open for specific motions. The counter poses to work opposing muscles to retain symmetry. Look at individual athletes and their particularities. I had a client who was going to play Division I softball and had lordosis and happened to have rods. She did have lens plate screws. She had a rod. So we had to make, she was a pitcher too, so we had to make considerations for her so that she could make it. She could not overdo the shoulder because she didn't have the extension that she needed. So we had to work the hip so that she can open in other directions. So there might be specific considerations you might have to make for individual athletes. What are the common injuries? Always looking. How can you predict what injuries would occur? All reiterations, but these are all the things you're just going to have to constantly look at. And what are you passionate about, and how will you communicate it through your teaching? Always telling them why they're doing it. Make them excited about being in your class and not going to a regular yoga class, not doing an online class, but being with you, because you're going to tell them every day about why they're doing it with you. You know, not doing an online class, not going to, you know, Exhales yoga class, which would be fine, but it's 10 times better to do it with you. Why it's important to transition as well to poses themselves, just to make it smoother, just to make it less awkward for them. They're awkward enough because they're big and bulky and don't have the range of motion. So making those transitions a little bit better for them does make it better. Writing those sequence of 5 to 10 poses that are relevant to them, your warm-up sequence, always protecting the knee. They should never, ever, ever have a knee problem, always, or pain, always telling them, if there's knee pain, let me know. We can change it. If we can't change it, we can't get out of the knee pain, abort mission, right? And always honoring where they are in their training cycle, pre-game, post-game, in-season, out of season. Said it before, every Power Yoga for yoga class should have a motivated athlete and a serious mind to excel. The warm-up sequence, where you're going to do some quick assessments that they can assess, but you can assess too. We did them today, easy peasy. A series of poses appropriate to the sport and position. We did it today. They're in the book laid out for you if you don't want to ever think about it. Breath work and reminders to incorporate the breath, long deep holds relevant to the sport and position, and a final rest, guided meditation or visualization. And like I said before, my final rest is always a stretch, just because time is always so valuable. Stay comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. That's what makes a good athlete great. These are the required readings for, it's the Mind Gym. You'll like reading it. It's also little snippets. It's quick. I always like, if you did Power Yoga for Sports too, Clean is in, some of these are overlap, but Clean is a great book by Alejandro Younger. It is just, you don't have to do it. I suggest you do it, and if you do it, you don't have to do 21 days. It changed my life in 4. But it's an elimination diet type of thing. Don't do the supplements. You don't have to do that, and it still changes your life. But it's just eliminating any possible allergen, systematically adding them back, and see how you feel. I was about 8 or 9 years ago diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I was in agony. I couldn't get out of bed. I was in pain like you couldn't believe. Literally diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I was suggested to read this book, and on day 4, I was pain-free because I had eliminated an allergen that I was unaware of. And I am a vegetarian, thought I was doing everything right. I'm vegetarian since age 10. So I thought I was doing everything right. And I systematically added everything back. In a nutshell, it ended up being soy. As a vegetarian, I was eating a lot of, and ended up that it was in everything. It's a shelf stabilizer. It's in chocolate, which then I was eating a lot of. I barely eat any chocolate now. And I haven't had a day of pain since. Went back to the rheumatologist, tested negative for rheumatoid arthritis, and he was like, oh, that's weird. So that was my,
Did you school them a little bit?
I didn't even bother.
You didn't even bother.
I didn't even bother.
I would have.
But a lot of my trainees have done it and found fascinating things. It's just, it's a hard book to read. You don't have to read the whole thing. You can skim through it. If you wanted some coaching with it with me, I'd be happy to do that because there's only certain pages you have to read, and I can make it easier for you. But that's clean. 8-minute meditation is simple, tiny book to read if meditation's tough for you. Power Yoga for Sports, best book on the market, came out in November. Amazing, the cutest guy ever is in that book. Stopping Inflammation, amazing read. Body, Mind, Sport, one of my most favorite books by John Douillard. Yoga for Athletes, another Aladar Kogler. A lot of these are easy reads, and the Athlete's Plate by a friend of mine as well. So.
Well, that list gets sent to us, I don't need to copy that.
Yep, nope, yep, it's in there. Our manifesto, which is in the back of that book. And you'll also get my goal setting guide, which 2.0 is also,
I think I have that. Did you have that somewhere online or something?
if you
On your
signed up for my
website?
newsletter,
Yeah,
you got
I
it
think I
free.
figured that out already, yeah.
It also was just updated recently and like 40 more pages were added.
I
so.
used the quote the other day from it in my, actually last night in my class.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the list of what to do for certification. But like I said, it's the book list, observing sports, a couple to-do things when you observe sports, and 2 final videos that you submit to me. And that's the basic level today. So what we did today, you get, but more in depth than what you saw in my presentation today. You get all of that, plus videos and a lot more. I'll be sending that to you. That's that. Any questions, which I should have been asking you all along, but you've kind of been asking questions. Does anybody have any questions?
Just stopwatch wise?
Yes.
You're not using stopwatch for all of these?
I do it for the long holds.
The long holds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
Make sure you keep it on
if I'm
both
doing Warrior 1s and Warrior 2s, I have it,
Yeah, but you're not like.
but
doing it
I'm
for-
not, I'm not making it ding, and
Yeah.
I'll, like, sometimes I want, like, down dog for a minute, but I'm not letting them know that.
Yeah.
And then Warrior 1 is a minute,
Yeah.
and I'm
Just-
just walking around.
Yeah, just so you know, like side
Yeah.
to side, like
Yeah,
the time.
yeah, no one really
Got it.
knows that.
Is that for you?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Anything else I forgot? Did I forget anything? Okay. Also, like I said, this is filmed now, and this will be part of it too. Also, oh, no, that's separate, but, so, yeah, this is the basic Power Yoga for Sports course. There is the elite level, which includes
The mindful.
the way of the mindful athlete and Power Yoga for Sports 2. And what you don't know, maybe, is, and you should go back on the site and re-download, because what I just added is I added the Flow Series notebook free and all 13 training kits.
Oh, no, I
included
read
that.
that was,
Okay.
that
So
you were
that's
doing
like
that. 'Cause that's
$400
amazing.
now.
That's
And that's
amazing.
part of the
Thank
elite,
you.
that's part of the elite level now, so
That's awesome.
that makes it just better.
Yeah.
So that's the elite level, it's just 2 levels. The elite level, a lot more is involved, and you can go on my website and look at that, but no pressure, I just want you to know about that. And that's it. So I will be emailing you all the materials. Sidebar, as you know, technology is not my friend. It might take me 1 or 2 tries. I'm a little better at it now because it comes through a server for me. So I will be emailing you with a password. Might take me 1 or 2 tries. You go on and make sure that you get all the materials, okay? So when I email you the password, if you don't mind, as soon as you can, go on and say, yes, I got it all. I can get on. I'm good, okay? And make sure I did it right. The last couple times I did it right, so I can do it now, I think, so. All right, you guys, I think that's it. Yay. Welcome. Welcome.
Thanks, Gwen. this one yours?
Yes.
Yeah, June.
Reno will take down.
That's soon, that's.
Wait. It doesn't
Yes.
have your name, but.
Yeah, it is, because Mary took 2 and Reno took 2.
Are you taking it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know Russell, yeah.